My name is Henry Moses. I'm with SCORE. SCORE was created in 1964 by the federal government as a volunteer mentoring wing of the Small Business Administration. And the goal was to promote the creation of and the continued success of small business. So we have 365 chapters around the country, about 13,000 volunteers, men and women of all ages, all backgrounds, all colors, you name it. We have the expertise somewhere in our resource structure to help a retailer succeed. We provide one-on-one, free, confidential mentoring with our clients, and we do it either wherever you live, or we have several sites around the city that we meet the clients in. One is the Federal Building in downtown Detroit, right across from the SBA. But we also have the Ferndale Chamber of Commerce, the Milwaukee Junction Vanguard CDC, the Pontiac Chamber of Commerce, the Michigan Business and Professional Association on Hoover Road in Warren, and we also do some counseling in Novi. So generally speaking, you can find a counselor somewhere that's conveniently located to you. Just go on DetroitScore.org, and our website will lead you to make an appointment with a counselor. We do put on several workshops on how to write a business plan and follow that up with the marketing part of the business plan and the financial part of the business plan. And then we have free roundtables that follow up those workshops. There's a small fee for the workshops, but the roundtables that follow up after you've attended the workshops are free, and you get a chance to bounce your ideas off a variety of our both counselors and clients. So I highly recommend that you consider them. I myself was in the women's apparel retail business for 30 years. And not that retailing is a risky business, but all the stores I work for have been out of business for many years as well. So it's either a sign the business is risky, or I might have been a jinx. I'm not sure which. But there's always room for new ideas and new people to run these stores. And Rachel Lutz, who will speak to you later, is a good example of an entrepreneur who, found a niche and is doing very well with it. We also do work with also, besides startup businesses, we work with ongoing businesses, and we are capable of creating a team of SCORE counselors to go out and meet with that business as sort of an ad hoc board of directors for as long as they want us to come and meet with them, and there's no charge for those services as well. So we offer what's called SCORE Business Support, and we look forward to helping ongoing businesses with whatever kind of problem they have. We'll have an accountant go with us, and a marketing specialist, and maybe 3 or 4 different members of the chapter will get together and form that team. So it's been very helpful to a number of our clients. And so we look forward, if you need, I'll have some cards and some pass out sheets in the back of the room there if you need to talk about retailing in greater depth, and I'll look forward to talking to you.
Thank you. I'm Sean Gray with the Michigan Small Business and Technology Development Center. It's kind of a long name, and there's a longer, the acronym sometimes feels even longer than the actual name. But effectively, we are a part of a nationwide network of SBDCs. So throughout the country, you'll probably hear more often SBDC, Small Business Development Centers. In Michigan, we are fortunate enough to have the T designation, which is for technology. We have a tech team that can help small technology businesses to market their products and or inventions. And so throughout the state, we have a whole host of services that are available, fortunately provided through funding from the Small Business Administration and the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. For the most part, we offer training, research, and consultation. In our office, formerly we were at TechTown, and we actually did trainings in-house. Currently, we just recently relocated, and we don't have space to do trainings, but we still are referring clients to our trainings at our offices in Oakland County, Monroe County, and also in some areas downriver from Detroit. So we do offer trainings on starting a small business, writing a business plan. Fiscal Fitness is a training series that we've offered that's a 4-hour, well, it can go to 5 sometimes. It depends on how much people are enjoying it, but it's generally a 4-hour course on understanding your financials. So if you're in business and you've been either using a software to manage your financials and they kind of kick out data that you don't necessarily know how to use to manage your business, or if you have a CPA who's doing your taxes or your other bookkeeping services and you're getting data that you don't know how to use, we have a course that can help you understand better how to use that information as a tool. We offer in our consulting sessions direct consulting, one-on-one usually, on starting a small business or growing and running a small business. So we have consultants who are generalists, but some have a specialty in growing small business. Some have specialties in starting up small businesses. So I tend to work with startup businesses. I am the intake and outreach consultant. So I generally am going out and finding new clients and also working with startup businesses. We do also have clients who are what we refer to as growth group consultants who work with businesses that are in their second stage and that are looking to grow. We even have financial strategy specialists who are working with businesses who've been in business for quite some time and are having challenges growing or challenges paying their obligations. I think most people who are in business or who've had a loan or a line over the past 4 or 5 years, or really since the economic downturn, you've heard stories of people having their loans called or having no problem repaying the loan, and then all of a sudden the bank said, well, we want our money back right now. And that, of course, is a crisis for a small business that is almost impossible to overcome if you don't have help, because it's something that you certainly haven't earned, and it's something that very few businesses have experienced before outside of that downturn in the economy. So we have financial strategy specialists who can help small businesses cope with that sort of situation, who can sit down with you and with your banker and contemplate or work out a loan workout, and really get into the nitty-gritty of what's going wrong or what's going right in your business and how to stop one and ramp up the other. The research quotient of what we do is generally, it takes the form of, in our consultation often we come to points where a client will have a question, and I generally will help them determine if it's a secondary or primary research question. So is this a question that you can answer with pre-existing research that's out there sitting on the shelves at your library or sitting on a server at Google or somewhere else? Or is this something where you're going to have to go out and provide an answer for yourself? And that's generally something I can help you figure out as far as primary versus secondary. And if it happens to be primary research, I can start to get you kind of headed in the direction of understanding surveys and other methods of doing primary research. But I can also, for secondary research, pull up lots and lots of data on what your ratio should be for your financials, get you sample business plans for your industry, and other benchmarks for your industry, industrial analysis and comparisons, and really the things that can make, I almost say sometimes it's, writing a business plan. If I give you a sample business plan or 2 or 3, benchmarks for your financials, and templates, and we have so many tools that we can give you that it's like, just write the business plan. It's like at some point, and sometimes we have clients who get to that kind of paralysis of analysis where they're gathering more and more information and more, and it's kind of like you've got all this information. Some of the information you've been collecting for so long is kind of aging out of relevancy. Just write the business plan. Yeah, and so with the sample business plan, and I don't advise plagiarism, but I found some samples that have been so close to what a person wanted to do or so relevant, and even that were local in Michigan, real business plans. There's something called the Business Plan Handbook that you can find at most public libraries that has real business plans from businesses all over the nation. And you can find just scores of business plans, no pun intended there. But you can find just dozens and dozens of business plans. And there are so many good examples out there of business plans. They don't have to be very long. They can be very short, and preferably very short, because most lenders, most investors, most people who are going to be reading your business plan, if it gets too long and it's not going anywhere, they're going to cut straight to the financials. And if they don't see what they like there, they're just not going to go back to it. So anyway, what we try to do is between our consultation services, our research services, and our training services, we try to make sure that you have a good understanding of what you're going to face when you go out into the market. We try to make sure that you're prepared, that you're ready to make decisions based on information and not just habits and hunches, which is something that we tend to fall into. Even when we're running a growing concern, we tend to get so reliant on our habits that we forget sometimes that we just need fresh information, and we should always be keeping our eyes and ears open for what's going on in the marketplace. To touch on our trainings again, many of our trainings are low cost. Some of our trainings are no cost. We actually also host some of the SBA's events. So you might see me at the 8A workshop, or you might see me at the Team SBA. What's the new name for Team SBA?
Team SBA.
Is that the new name? Okay. Okay. And so we host those or try to work with the SBA team on those events. And we also have occasionally trainings that take place over a 10-week course, such as the Fast Track New Venture and Fast Track Growth Venture programs and curriculums. And those are programs, so basically for 10 weeks, you come in 1 day a week for 3 hours, and you go from, if you're in the Fast Track New Venture program, you go from really the ideation phase where you're still thinking about what business you want to be in, to at the end of it, you have a better understanding of your legal needs, your accounting needs, and really have a very detailed explanation of what you do. Just to give you an example, we started off in that class with people who said, it was ironic that they were sitting at the same table across from each other, and one wanted to start a business that sounded almost exactly like the other person's business. And no one in the room, nor neither of them, could really put their finger on what was different about their businesses, but they knew, they had this feeling that, no, my business is not like hers. I can't explain how it's different from hers, but it's not like hers. And somehow, we just kind of all left it and said, okay, we'll let you two work on that, we'll come back. By the end of the end of the 10 weeks, they had a very clear understanding of how their businesses were different. And they were in the same industry, but they were very different services. And they could explain to you in a way that actually made lots of sense how they were different and why they were different. Whose customer, if you said, here's a potential customer, they could explain who that was a better fit for and how they were going to work together to make sure that customers were getting to the right service. So anyway, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to working with you all, and I appreciate being here. Oh, I have a question.
Where's your office?
Oh, our new office, we actually are at 163 Madison Avenue. So we moved to what was, or is, I think, still technically the Barton Building. Our statewide host is Grand Valley State University, and they recently purchased the building. And so we have moved from Tech Town. Lots of our flyers and business cards and things will say our Tech Town, our address at 440 Burroughs, but we are actually at 163 Madison. Yes, ma'am.
Does your website give out the times and the dates of these different classes?
We do. You actually can register. I'm sorry to mention that our website is MISBTDC. So MI as in Michigan, S as in Sam, B as in boy, T as in Tom, D as in dog, C as in cat. I do that a lot. .org. And you can actually register for trainings at any one of our offices. You can put in a county, you can put in a zip code, you can register for any of our trainings, and if it's a training that does require payment, you can actually pay right there on the website too. But we do actually have trainings that are ongoing around the state and around the Tri-County area while we're kind of in transition. So there's lots of opportunities. My phone number is 672-1106. That's my direct line. The other number will take you to our intake assistant. So if you're mostly focused on, if you're navigating the website and you have any trouble with the website, call the first number, the 96, I'm sure I gave you the right number. I'm not going to give it to you again because I might give you the wrong number. But the first number, call the first number. But either way, I can try to get you sorted out if you have any issues with the website, navigating things, finding a training. Or if you'd like to set an appointment, you can give me a call and we can take a look at where you're at right now. If you have a business plan or an executive summary, and generally you won't have just an executive summary, you'll have a full business plan because the executive summary is the piece you write last. But if you have a business plan, I can take a look at that and we can start there and I can get you some feedback on it and we can schedule an appointment. So give us a call.
What was the zip code?
Oh, the zip code, that's a good one. It's 48226.
482, no, the zip code.
Oh, the area code.
Area-
Oh, I'm sorry, the
area
area
code. I'm
code.
looking
313. It's 313, yeah.
All right, and yours was 672-1106?
That's right, that's my direct
Thank
line.
you.
Yep, that's the one I know, 672-1106. All right.